History remembers the man with the sword, but often forgets the hand that steadied his aim. When we say men destroyed the world, it sounds neat, clean, and convenient. And in part, it is true. It is true. Men built armies, forged empires, drew borders in blood, and burnt cities for powers. But power doesn't build itself, because no man conquers alone. For every Caesar, there was a senate. For every pharaoh, a court. For every king, a queen. And sometimes a mother whose ambition outgrew her morality. So yes, men often swung the blade, but the question is, who sharpened it? Because history is not a single-player game. It's a collaboration between ego and silence, between action and approval. We have told the story of man, the destroyer, so often, we have forgotten that destruction needs permission and sometimes participation. Now, let's be clear. This is not about blame. It's about balance. Men may have written the headlines, but women were always in the footnotes, and footnotes carry truth. When kingdoms fell, yes, it was men leading the charge. But look closer, and you will see women in the margins, advising, anointing, or anchoring the very systems they claim to resent. Check it out, though. Let's take ancient Egypt, for example. For every warrior pharaoh, there was a queen mother orchestrating lineage, securing alliances, whispering counsel. Nefertiti wasn't just beauty, she was political brilliance, co-ruling with Akhenaten, shaping a monotheistic revolution that nearly collapsed the Egypt pantheon. Cleopatra didn't just love, she leveraged affection as diplomacy. She used empire and intimacy interchangeably. When Egypt fell, Rome got the credit, but love was the lever. Look at Rome. The empire rose on masculine conquest. Yes, it's true. But women in the shadows, like Livia Drusilla, wife of Augustus, shaped succession, silenced rivals, and sculpted legacy. Men fought wars, women fought through whispers. In China, Empress Wu Zetian didn't inherit power. She seized it, ruled it, and restructured it. But every dynasty's fall had women navigating palace intrigues, alliances, betrayals, politics by affection. Even in Africa, in the kingdom of Dahomey, women served as both warriors and enforcers. The Agoje, they defended empire, yes, but also enforced the very slave trade that fed foreign greed. Power is never pure. Neither gender walked away unstained. But check it out though. In Europe, when kings launched crusades, queens managed the coffers and sometimes the propaganda. When witch hunts began, women accused women, often out of envy, fear, or convenience. Oppression isn't always top-down. Sometimes it's side by side. OGG, you get me? So let's ask again. What role did women play in the destruction of our world? The same role men did. They served the systems they thought would save them. They traded conscience for comfort. They chose proximity to power over principle. It's easy to say men destroyed. Harder to admit we tolerated. Because every tyrant had a cheering section. Every despot has a fan club. Every conqueror has lovers and loyalists who call destruction destiny. History is not gendered crime. It's a human pattern. Let's check it out now. Men destroyed differently. Women destroyed quietly. One with steel, the other with silence. One through dominance, the other through diplomacy. But both, when unchecked, create decay. Men sought control through conquest. Women sought safety through influence. Both motives understandable, both outcomes unpredictable. Let's be honest. Men built most of the machinery of ruin. War, empire, industry, but women often oil the gears. Socially, emotionally, politically, they humanized ambition. They rationalized control. They taught sons to be conquerors, not caretakers. They trained daughters to chase proximity, not purpose. And while the tools changed, swords, treaties, screens, the dynamic did not. Today, destruction just looks different. Men still destroy through apathy, escapism, greed, ego. Women still enable through validation, vanity, and silence when accountability stings. We all feed the machine that breaks us, just on different sides of the console. Because it's not about male or female anymore. It's about the human addiction to control. Men crave control over land, labor, and legacy. Women crave control over influence, image, and intimacy. And when control replaces compassion, civilization starts counting down. That is not misogyny. That is history. Take modern times. War still starts with men. But many are justified with sentiments, image, and narratives. It's just not armies now. It's algorithms. And both genders are coding chaos. You cannot destroy a world alone. You need an audience. And history shows every tyrant had one. The pharaohs had priests. The emperors had empresses. The colonizers had companions. The CEOs have consumers. If men built the bombs, women filled the factory. If men sailed the ships, women built the sails. If men ran the government, women raised the generations that served them. Check it out though. Destruction isn't a gender, it's a habit. Circle of ego, envy, and entitlement passed down like family heirlooms. The masculine shadow seeks dominance. The feminine shadow seeks approval. And together they make sure nobody grows. We keep blaming the sword while ignoring the silence. We keep condemning the conqueror but applauding the culture that crowns him. So no, women didn't build every empire, but they often built the excuses. They didn't lead every war, but they sometimes led the worship. And when destruction came home, they wept for the house they helped furnish. You can't fix history by swapping blame. You fix it by seeing how both sides contributed. Men need accountability for power without empathy. Women need accountability for influence without integrity. Because influence is power. And power without wisdom always breaks something. Maybe the real destroyer of worlds isn't man or woman. It's denial. The denial of our roles. The denial of our patterns. The denial of our reflection in the ruins. If you want to build a better world, stop pointing fingers at gender. Start asking where you stayed silent. Because destruction doesn't always start with violence. Sometimes it starts with validation. So yes, men have been destroyers. But women though, they have been witnesses, whisperers, and sometimes willing hands. And if humanity wants to evolve, it cannot keep absorbing half itself. History's mirror is wide enough for both faces. Unless you really believe the sword swung itself. Okay, I hear you.